You're watching the 2024-25 SCAC Basketball Media Days. Today, we're taking a dive into the Texas Lutheran University women's basketball program. Bulldogs will be led as they head into the season. And the guys, head coach Troy Patterson, along with leadership from senior Kailee Mulkey. And Coach Kailee, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Coach, we'll get started with you. Heading into your fourth season as the head coach of this TLU women's basketball program there in Seguin, I'm interested what you've seen as the biggest growth in your program over these last 3+ seasons, and ultimately, how excited you to be back here at the start of a new year and get ready to go into year 4 with this group.
Well, I guess as you said, we're an older team now, so I had these young ladies since they were freshmen, and just to watch the maturity level have reached where it is now has been great to see. We came in as I would say, like any young team, very immature and unable to deal with certain things that were put before us. But now we tend to handle those. Adversity is something that we look forward to facing and facing a lot better than we did in prior years.
Kailee, coming into this season, obviously it's a big year for you, your senior year. It's an experienced group, as Coach talked about. I'm just interested, what have the vibes been like as preseason unfolded? How is this group starting to come together, gel? What has preseason been like to this point? And for you, kind of what's your mindset coming in as a senior leader within this group?
It's been pretty exciting. I feel like the whole team's very hungry. We're all every day in practice, and even the preseason we do work weights, and even in the gym doing open gym, we're very hungry. And I think the team kind of just all came together, matured a lot. So now like our chemistry is like on point. No more petty arguments or like anything like that. Everything kind of just gets us better, and leads us to like the next goal, which is just trying to get further than we did last year and the year before that, and hopefully just make it all the way to the end. So the whole team's on the same page, which I think really helps.
Coach, tell us a little about this version of this TLU Bulldogs women's basketball program. Obviously, as we talked about, a lot of familiar faces. You return your top 6 scorers from a season ago, but as we know in college, no team is the same year to year. So, what have you learned about this specific group? What have you seen from them, personality-wise, driven-wise, those types of things as preseason's unfolded that has you excited and that you want these fans to know about this group going into the season?
Well, this is probably the most diverse group that I've ever been around as far as their personalities, talent levels. But one thing that they all have in common that's a pleasure to coach is their intensity level is off the chart. So we try to recruit players that we don't have to try to light a fire under. And in these cases, I think that we were right on. We have people that want to get after it every day. I think our major issue is, we go so hard against each other that we don't make it sometimes to be able to play in real games because, so intense. But that's a good problem to have as a coach. So over the years, that intensity has not only grown, but it really has become something that we kind of expect to see, so it's a pleasure. I've coached a lot of groups over the years that I've coached, and this one here has to be among the top as far as intensity level day to day.
Kailee, you mentioned that word hunger earlier in your answer. And, one of the things Coach and I have talked about over the past is, as this team has grown and has, had success, yourself a 2-time all SCAC performer, and as younger players, this group had some individual success. But one of the things he talked about was the concern of keeping the team hungry, keeping the team motivated, wanting to continue to push themselves with the success and sort of come in together as a group. So what is it that continues to motivate this team? Where is the hunger level with this group? And, for you individually, what continues to motivate you as well, despite all the successes you've had individually throughout your career coming to the senior year?
I think for our team, we know that where we've been the past couple of years, we can do a lot better than that. And so we kind of hold ourselves to a higher standard, like we know we can be up there with in the first or second spot, but that's kind of what we have to prove to everybody and to ourselves, and to our coaches, just that like, even though we start off really good, we can finish strong too. We can come out there and stay, hungry throughout the whole entire thing and not really let up or, get tired. And personally, I think my goal is kind of just, I know that I'm a leader for my team. They look up to me, especially because I have a little bit of like history behind me, but I think for the biggest part is just kind of like making sure that it's not individually, our team, like we all push each other every single day. And I think that's what makes us a lot better is that everyone's good on our team and that there's it's a competition every single day. So I think that just really helps.
Coach, because of the work that you and this team has put in over the last couple of years, the excitement and the energy obviously is high. The bar is high coming into this season. So, what's been the message to this group in preseason as these practices has unfolded? What are you and your staff kind of really honing in on, focusing on with this group, whether it's things you feel they do really well and you're trying to even improve and expand on that even more, or things that maybe you feel like there's areas of improvement to kind of round this out as a full team experience? What's kind of been that message early on in preseason to get this group focused?
Well, I think if you ask any one of them what my continuing message is, and especially this year, is don't ignore the little things. This is a very bright group of young women here, and they pick up on concept on I'm sorry, on complex schemes and things very well, but the little things are what we need to do. And I kind of feel like if we can get those things both going at the same time, we're a very tough team. And that happens with a lot of teams that have, what we believe to be talented players. We overlook the small things, rebounding and knocking down free throws and things like that. Sometimes a difference in a championship, we kind of take for granted, but everything else you kind of did well and you look strong in. But if we become that complete group, which, we're hoping to be, that's what we shoot to be, then we can kind of reach some of our goals.
And finally, Kailee, as we wrap up with you, as you've had conversations with some of your other teammates and leaders within your locker room about some of the goals and expectations coming into this season, what have those conversations looked like? And, ultimately, what do you see as being key for this group to accomplish those things as you head into this senior season?
I'll kind of piggyback off coach and say the little things for sure. We're very big on defense though. So we know every day in defense, like we really are push ourselves to get quicker and to get like just more like ability, on like the defensive side of the court. But I would say really just focusing on the little things and kind of just staying like our chemistry is very important because I mean it's not with just like the same five, the whole entire team, from everybody that plays to like the newer people, the freshmen that came in. Our chemistry is like a biggest thing, like just coming together and making sure that we're all on the same page with the new things that we're learning and everything that's going on so that we can all help each other out and kind of just try to make it, as far as we can.
And finally, Coach, as we wrap up with you, what are your hopes for this group? This is, I know, a special season for you, as you talked about this group coming in together, and seeing them grow throughout the course of their career as a great senior class. The growth that you've taken as a program over these last few years, coming into this season, because of that, the expectations, as we talked about, are higher. So what are your hopes for this team? How do you kind of hope to envision and see for this group playing out here in 24, 25?
Well, I have a lot of hopes for this team. My biggest one is that we reach our potential. Many times in sports, we come and go, and there are teams that never reached where they could have been. And some teams reach it and still don't attain the goals they want, but they became the best team that they could. So I think I'd be a happy coach if I can finish the season saying, we did the best we possibly could, and wherever we land, that's fine. Of course, our goal is to win championships. We want to win championships. That's our goal. But, we need to look at all the steps that it takes to get there first. You don't just get there by talking about it. You get there by reaching, the potential. And we have the potential. Like, we have some great teams in our conference. And it seems like, we just come short of doing that each time where they, have found a way to do it, whether it be their players, clicked at the right time or their coaching was better or whatever it is. We all need to kind of reach that, from me all the way down to the last player. That's what we need to do. So if that happens for us and we land on top, I'm happy. If that happens for us and we don't, I'm still happy because I want this group. I want to look at film, once our season is completely over and say, hey, we reached as far as we could as a team in our growth, and that's where we landed. I'm fine.
Texas Lutheran University head women's basketball coach Troy Patterson, along with leadership from senior Kailee Mulkey. The Bulldogs will open up the 2024-25 campaign when they take on Hardin-Simmons at home on November 8th. Coach Kailee, thanks so much for your time today and best of luck as you head into the season.
Okay, thank you for having us.